Hi, welcome back to HomeTime. We're on a Habitat for Humanity project. We've done habitat projects in different parts of the country, but it's always fun to do them in your own community, so that's what we're up to today.
If you're not familiar with Habitat, we'll explain some of the principles as we go along. Basically, it's an organization that works with deserving families to help them become homeowners.
So there's a lot of special things going into this house. That's because the homeowners have special needs. Scott Den and Lisa Barron have cerebral palsy. Habitat wants to make certain that this house will allow Scott and Lisa to be truly independent.
It's a great story, a great project, and we'll be working with some great people along the way. We hope you'll join us. The reason our local Habitat is taking their time on this house is that they're exploring all sorts of ideas and new technologies for meeting the special needs of these homeowners. Now, the folks at Habitat don't claim to be experts at this, so they partnered up with a group called Courage Center, who are experts in this field. Courage Center is a national organization that's headquartered in our community. It's a rehabilitation and resource center for people with physical disabilities.
That's for sure. Well, this house is a little different. I noticed you have the track laid out for the transport you'll be putting up.
Yeah, we've got it positioned directly below where it'll eventually be bolted to the ceiling.
Okay, hidden right down the hall. What's all the framing here for? How's that all working?
Our roof trusses are not designed to hold a device like this, and we don't want to break any of them, so our truss engineer has come up with some reinforcement that he's asked us to install.
Oh yeah, right here.
Directly above our heads are the vertical 2x4 members we've installed, sandwiched between the plywood gusset plates. That should keep the lower core of the trusses from breaking.
Okay, and then you have these parallel or these perpendicular pieces in between the trusses.
Yeah, that's step 2 of our reinforcement, and our manufacturer, the engineer, designed some blocking that's installed and held up by these steel angle irons, which are bolted to the trusses.
The most exciting thing that's happened is that the overhead track system has been installed. About a month after our first visit, we stopped by to help the volunteers secure the track pieces to the special blocking that was put in the roof framing. They first had to lay it out again and mark on the floor the location of the bolt holes. Then they used a neat little laser level that shot a plumb line straight up. This allowed us to mark where the bolt holes should fall on the ceiling.
There we go.
Then we could lift up the piece of track and mate it up with the previous section. We used the marks we had just made on the ceiling to position the bracket, and we secured it into the blocking we had seen them install on our first visit. The work seemed to go pretty smoothly, and it wasn't long before we were putting up the last couple sections. This is the unit that runs on the track. There's a motor and a big rechargeable battery in the housing up there. The way I understand this is that there's a charger here that's plugged into the wall, and then wires run from the charger up to these contacts alongside the track. So when the unit is backed up into the corner, those contacts will charge up the battery. And then when the unit is out on the track, that same battery provides power to the turntables and the switches, so there's no power that runs through the track. The first thing Lisa wanted to try out was the track system. Dan Augustine, who helped secure the system for Habitat at a discount, worked with Lisa to get her used to it, along with Jane Kantz, who's an occupational therapist from Courage Center. Dan says it takes a couple of weeks to get totally comfortable with the system, but Lisa was using it to move around after just a few minutes. She was just getting back in her wheelchair when Scott arrived.
You missed the ride.
Jane.
Hi.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
I'm Dean. Nice to meet you.
Robin. Hi.
How do you do?
You must be They also had another guest, Peggy Locke, who directs the Assistive Technology program at Courage Center. We all got the grand tour, starting down the hall in the bedroom, where the featured attraction was, of course, the lift. I bet I got a chance to ride in it. It was kind of fun.
Yeah, you had to get used to it too.
Yeah.
Right.
When my